Most people believe becoming rich requires something dramatic. A revolutionary business idea, a lucky crypto investment, or some secret strategy that only billionaires understand. But what if the truth is much simpler and much more boring? Because if you look closely at how ordinary people become wealthy, you'll notice something surprising. They rarely rely on luck, they rarely chase risky shortcuts, and they almost never live the flashy lifestyles social media promotes. Instead, they follow a collection of habits so boring, most people ignore them completely. And that's exactly why they work. Because the habits that quietly build wealth don't look exciting. They look ordinary. They look disciplined. Sometimes they even look embarrassing. But over time, these habits create a massive gap between people who look wealthy and people who actually become wealthy. To understand this difference, let's look at a few numbers. The average American family of 4 throws away about $1,500 worth of food every year. Not eats, not donates. They throw it straight into the garbage. Now combine that with another statistic. The average new car payment recently crossed $772 per month. That's more than $9,000 every year just for a car payment. And that doesn't even include insurance, gas, or maintenance. Add daily coffee purchases. Add restaurant lunches. Add online, impulse shopping. And suddenly, thousands of dollars disappear every year without people even noticing. The truth is simple. Most people aren't poor because they earn too little money. Most people struggle financially because they follow habits designed to look successful rather than build success. Meanwhile, the people who quietly become wealthy follow a completely different set of habits. Habits that don't look impressive on social media, but habits that quietly compound into financial freedom. In this video, we're going to explore 10 extremely boring habits that have helped countless ordinary people become financially successful. None of them are flashy. None of them will impress your friends, but every single one can dramatically change your financial future. Let's begin. Habit number 1. Drive cars that are older than your ego wants. One of the fastest ways people destroy their finances is through their car. Car advertisements are incredibly powerful. They showed luxury lifestyles, beautiful roads, successful people stepping out of shiny vehicles, and they quietly plant one idea in your mind. If you want to look successful, you need a new car. But financially speaking, new cars are one of the worst purchases most people make. The moment a brand new car leaves the dealership, it instantly loses around 20% of its value. Within the first year, that loss often reaches 25 to 30%. Imagine buying a car for $50,000. A year later, it might only be worth $35,000. That means you effectively lost $15,000 without doing anything. And that's before you even consider fuel, insurance, or maintenance. Meanwhile, financially disciplined people do something different. They buy cars that are 3 to 5 years old. At that point, the previous owner has already absorbed most of the depreciation. The car still has many years of reliable life remaining, and the price is dramatically lower. Modern vehicles can easily run 150,000 to 200,000 miles with proper maintenance, which means a used car can often last a decade or more. And here's something interesting. Studies of self-made millionaires show that most of them drive very normal cars. Toyota, Honda, Ford, reliable vehicles that simply get them from point A to point B. Because wealthy people understand something most people forget. Cars are transportation, not financial investments, and every dollar saved on transportation can be invested into something that actually grows in value. Habit number 2. Stop treating every meal like an event. Food spending has quietly exploded in modern life. For many people, meals are no longer just about nutrition. They're about entertainment. New restaurants, new recipes, food delivery apps, and endless variety. But this constant variety creates 2 big problems. First, it makes grocery spending unpredictable. Second, it leads to massive food waste. In fact, the average household throws away hundreds of pounds of food every year. That's literally money going into the trash. Financially disciplined households solve this problem with a surprisingly simple system. They rotate the same 4 or 5 meals each week. At first, this might sound boring, but it actually makes life easier. When you cook the same meals regularly, you know exactly what ingredients to buy. You know how much everything costs, and you become faster and better at cooking those meals. Dinner becomes automatic instead of stressful. There's no endless no wasted ingredients, no random grocery purchases that sit in the fridge until they spoil. Over time, this simple habit can reduce grocery spending by 30 to 40%, all because people stop trying to reinvent dinner every night. Habit number 3. Eat what you already bought. This habit sounds obvious, but most households ignore it. Before buying new groceries, use what you already have. Look in your refrigerator. Look in your freezer. Look in your pantry. Most homes already contain enough ingredients for multiple meals. But instead of using them, people keep buying more food. Eventually, the older food spoils and gets thrown away. A powerful strategy is creating a use what you have week, once a month. Stop grocery shopping completely. Instead, cook meals using whatever ingredients already exist in your home. This forces creativity. It prevents waste, and it often reveals just how much food people forget they already purchased. Over time, this habit alone can reduce grocery spending by 15 to 25%. Habit number 4, turn small daily purchases into long-term investments. Daily spending habits often feel harmless. A cofiere, a snack there. A quick, convenience purchase. But small daily purchases compound into massive long-term costs. Consider the daily coffee habit. A typical cafe coffee might cost $6 to $8. Buying one every weekday can easily reach $2,000 per year. Now imagine investing that same money instead. Over decades, that simple habit could grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the same logic applies to many other small purchases. Energy drinks, convenience store snacks, bottled water, impulse purchases at checkout counters. None of these expenses seem large individually, but together they quietly drain thousands of dollars every year. Financially disciplined people aren't perfect. They still enjoy treats, but they make those purchases intentionally rather than automatically. Habit number 5, bring food from home. Eating out regularly is another major financial leak. Buying lunch during the work week might seem harmless, but the numbers add up quickly. A typical lunch can cost $12 to $18. Meanwhile, a meal prepared at home often costs $3 to $5. Across an entire year, that difference becomes significant. Someone who buys lunch every workday could spend $4,000 annually. Someone who brings lunch from home might spend less than $1,000. That's thousands of dollars saved simply by planning ahead. The same principle applies to travel. Tourist restaurants are expensive. Airport food is extremely overpriced. Smart travelers often stop at a grocery store when they arrive at their destination. They buy simple breakfast items, snacks, basic ingredients. Then they enjoy restaurants occasionally, instead of constantly. The vacation experience remains just as enjoyable, but the cost drops dramatically. Habit number 6, make spending slightly inconvenient. Technology has made spending money incredibly easy. A few taps on your phone, and a purchase arrives at your door. This convenience feels amazing, but it also encourages impulsive spending. Online stores are designed to remove every obstacle between you and your money. Saved credit cards, one-click purchases, personalized recommendations. Financially disciplined people sometimes do the opposite. They deliberately add friction to their spending. Instead of buying instantly online, they shop in person, drive into a store, walking through aisles, waiting in line. These small inconveniences create time to reconsider the purchase. Do I actually need this? Is it worth the effort? Often the answer becomes no. And that pause saves money. Habit number 7, build a simple wardrobe. Clothing spending has exploded in recent years. Fast fashion trends change constantly. Social media creates pressure to wear something new all the time. But this cycle is expensive and unnecessary. Many financially disciplined people create something called a capsule wardrobe. Instead of constantly buying new clothes, they build a small collection of high-quality items that work well together. A few shirts, a few pants, a few jackets, neutral colors, timeless styles. Everything mixes and matches. This dramatically reduces clothing purchases. It also eliminates the daily stress of choosing what to wear. The goal isn't to own more clothes. The goal is to own the right clothes and wear them often. Habit number 8. Pay yourself first. Most people save money only after paying bills and spending. Whatever remains goes into savings. But usually, nothing remains. Wealth builders reverse this system. Instead of saving last, they save first. The moment a paycheck arrives, a portion automatically moves into savings and investments. Retirement accounts, investment funds, emergency savings. Only the remaining money becomes available for spending. This strategy removes the need for willpower. Saving becomes automatic, and automatic systems are far easier to maintain. Habit number 9. Live below your future income. When people receive raises, they usually upgrade their lifestyle immediately. Better apartment, better car, better restaurants. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it traps many high earners in the same financial stress as low earners. Wealth builders do something different. When their income increases, they delay lifestyle upgrades. Instead of spending the extra money, they invest Italiano. This creates a growing gap between income and spending, and that gap becomes the engine of wealth creation. Habit number 10. Turn hobbies into small income streams. Finally, many wealthy individuals develop hobbies that generate income. Not necessarily full businesses, just activities that produce additional earnings. Photography, writing, consulting, freelancing, creating online content, selling digital products. Even a few hours per week can produce extra income. And that income can be invested rather than spent, which accelerates the entire wealth-building process. Final message. The truth about wealth is surprisingly simple. It isn't built through dramatic moments. It's built through consistent habits, repeated over many years. Driving older cars, cooking more meals at home, saving automatically, avoiding unnecessary spending. None of these habits are glamorous. They won't impress anyone online, but they quietly build something far more valuable. Financial freedom. The habits that feel boring today are the same habits that create millionaires tomorrow. So the real question is simple. Do you want to look rich, or do you want to become rich? Because those two paths lead to very different futures, and the boring path is often the one that wins.